Tonight, it was a record-breaking season for one Husky. We'll explain. And spring is here, which means baseball and softball are in full swing. We'll take a look at how both seasons started. All of this and more. Top Shelf Sports starts now.
Welcome to Top Shelf Sports, where we check in with Husky sports teams across NIU. I'm Ryan Mack.
And I'm Mike Poirier. The NIU basketball season just ended, and that means that baseball and softball are in full swing.
And who could forget about the madness that is March? My bracket's useless now, so I don't forget, Mike. But we'll get back to that in just a little bit. The Huskies had a strong basketball season, ending with 21-13 record.
That's right, Ryan. It's the best record that they've had in 20 years, and point guard Trayvon Baker had an especially good season. The senior finished his career with 164 steals. That's a new NIU record.
He also scored 996 points in his 4 years as a Husky, just 4 points short of the 1,000-point mark, an accomplishment not seen since 2002. Let's take a look at the last few games of the season. Coming off a tough road trip with losses to both Ball State and Central Michigan, the NIU men's basketball team was looking to bounce back here at the Convo Center. Let's take a look. The Huskies got off to a cold start before Trayvon Baker found Marshawn Wilson for the Huskies' first three of the game. Here's Marin Maric with the staggering block on an unsuspecting Bronco. Maric was all over the place in this game. Here he is showing off his post moves before finishing with the hook shot over the defender. Maric is battling it out here in the post before ending up on the floor, but that wouldn't be enough to slow the big man down. Maric would finish with 16, and the Huskies would get their 19th win of the season.
As the Huskies took the court for the last time in the regular season, the crowd came out to say goodbye to seniors like Trayvon Baker and Chuks Irugbu. While Baker may have finished the NIU season as the new NIU all-time career steals leader with 164, it was Marshawn Wilson picking pockets here and taking it coast to coast before missing the easy dunk that would have brought NIU to within one. However, the Huskies wouldn't stay down for long. The threes rained down on Ball State in the second half, with Baker and Eric Armstead helping the Huskies to put down the Cardinals for a final score of 80-69.
So, Mike, you had a chance to experience the Mack tournament game earlier this month.
I did. It was fantastic. The team was really fired up, and so were the fans that came out to support them. It was a Monday night, and it was quite the experience. The men's basketball team is hosting a Mack tournament game for the first time since 2014, but this game had a much different feeling. In a season where everyone pitched in, from seniors like Trayvon Baker to freshmen like Levi Bradley, the Huskies charged to a 21-13 record.
The end of the game.
Clutch, definitely clutch. He came through. Him being a freshman, that doesn't even matter. He came through with big time shots when we needed him to, and we applaud him.
Hey, appreciate it.
With the crowd behind them and each other to lean on, the Huskies head to Cleveland for the first time under coach Mark Montgomery.
You can bend, but don't break. Keep playing with energy. Keep getting the stop. Just find a way to wheel the ball in the basket.
Players like Eric Armstead are ecstatic about going to Cleveland for the very first time.
How's it feel?
It feels amazing. We made history, and I guess we made a little more history, but the job's not finished, and we're going all the way to Cleveland to finish it up.
It's been a great season for the Huskies. For Top Shelf Sports at the NIU Convocation Center, I'm Mike Poirier.
One of the key players this season has been junior guard Eric Armstead. Eric's here with us now. Welcome, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So, Eric, how's life after this season treating you?
Well, it's really different right now. I'm just trying to get used to not having practice, not having workouts on a consistent basis, and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a week since the end of the season, and you've had some time to reflect. What are your thoughts on this past season and how you guys are looking heading into next year?
Well, looking back on the season, I just feel like we did what we were supposed to do this year. We took care of business on the court, no problems off the court. We were cohesive as a team, and I feel like that'll carry over into next season. And hopefully we can have a good start to the season next year.
So why do you think this season specifically was a success, and what's changed now since previous seasons?
The cohesion of the group. We're just a team. We're very, very active in each other's lives off the court, which affects us very well on the court. So you can see that by when we play.
And what are like some of the changes that have been made to bring this to fruition?
A lot of bonding amongst the players, non-coach involved bonding, just the players getting together, going to hang out, just trying to get to know each other on a different level.
And pasta dinners and stuff?
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
So tell me about your role on the team. How has that changed since you were a freshman?
Well, now I'm a junior. I have a lot more responsibilities than I had then. And next year I'll have even more responsibilities being the only senior on the team, kind of, having that responsibility of being the leader, the glue of the team, that force that keeps us pushing.
So what do you think the team will need to do to build off of this season?
I would say what we need to do to build off the season is keep our cohesion going, keep the team bonding, the player motivation going, just trying to better each other.
Mm-hmm.
And you're certainly a strong player for the team, and next year as the only senior on that team, going into that again, how do you plan on keeping kind of the younger guys in check?
Well, I think our young guys are, they're pretty good. They're not the average freshman. I don't want to say they're the average freshman. They're very mature for their age. Even the youngest ones, they're really responsible. Like I said, we haven't had any problems, off the court. And normally in past years, those things just come from freshmen, being immature, and not knowing how things go. But our freshmen they were very well this year.
Well, that's very significant. What will you do to prepare for like this upcoming season, and how are you personally going to be keeping your team morale up?
I personally will be working on a lot of skill things, basketball-wise. Just trying to make sure that I'm healthy, make sure I maintain my health at a certain level to be able to perform well all throughout next season. And
what about the team as a whole, just kind of keeping up with each other?
Well, the team as a whole, we just feel like we want to be closer. That's helped us in this past year. So we try to make that a goal for us to keep that going for next year. Like I said earlier, once we have a good basis as a unit, we can have a good basis as a unit on the court.
So can you give us like 3 things that you think the team needs to work on coming up this season?
3 things that we have to work on. I'll probably have to say passing, our aggression on defense, and ending the games, closing out games.
Has there been a problem with like finishing on this?
Well, a lot of the games this year, and I think it's a tribute to us being a very young team. We just have to work on, closing out games as far as not letting teams come back. When we're up by 10, not letting teams cut it to 2, not letting teams cut it to 5, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, looks like you guys have a very positive outlook heading into future years, and obviously your senior year.
Yep.
Thanks again for coming by, Eric.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. We kind of can't believe the season is over after covering it, but we're really looking forward to next year.
I appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks for having me.
The Lady Huskies also called the Convocation Center home. Top Shelf Sports will recap their season as soon as we return. Well, the men's basketball team wasn't the only one making three-pointers this season.
That's right. The Lady Huskies had a good season as well. Let's take a look. Kelly Smith makes the driving layup. Here's another look at the impressive drive.
On the breakaway, Michaela Voigt goes around the world and finishes with the layup. Let's take a second look now. The Lady Huskies played the Central Michigan Chippewas in February. Let's take a look. We go to the first half. Huskies are down by 1. Allie Lehman inbounds it to Cassidy Glenn. Glenn takes a three-pointer and drains the bucket to put the Huskies up by 2. Now in the second quarter, Huskies up by 7. Central Michigan has it, but Courtney Woods makes a great block. Strong defense by Woods on that play. Now in the second half, Laisha Gordon has the ball. Gordon dribbles up the right side of the arc, puts up a shot and hits the 2. But it was free throws that brought the Huskies down. The Chips scored 17 points from free throws alone, compared that to only 6 by the Huskies. The Huskies lose this game 73-67.
The women ended their season with a senior night matchup against the Western Michigan Broncos, and the Huskies were on fire. The game started with the Huskies shooting 47% from the field. They also shot very well from 3 and had a 35-29 point lead in the half. However, NIU went cold in the second half, and they could not hold on to a lead in the second half. Western Michigan pulled away with a 64-60 win at the Convocation Center. The Lady Huskies and the Broncos would meet again in the first round of the Mack tournament, but the result did not change as the Broncos trampled the Huskies 94-52, bringing an end to the Lady Huskies season.
Well, the Lady Huskies ended their basketball season with an 11-19 record.
A record not as quite as good as the men's, but there were definitely some special moments here. Like that phenomenal buzzer beater by Cassidy Glenn against the Buffalo Bulls, and what junior guard Allie Lehman did could be fantastic for the Huskies next year.
Now we're going to take a look at the top play from either team this season. The Lady Huskies took on the Buffalo Bills in January, and in the end, one Huskies shot proved to be the difference between a win and a loss. But down 74-73 and needing a miracle to snap their losing streak, the Huskies inbound the ball. It finds Cassidy Glenn, who drains a three-pointer for her second buzzer beater of the game. And the Lady Huskies end up winning 76-74. Giving it a second look, you can see their hearts breaking, and Cassidy Glenn takes home the top play of this basketball season for the Huskies.
From the benches to the bullpen, it might not feel like it, but spring is here, and that means it's time to head out to the Diamond. It was opening home weekend for the Husky baseball and softball teams. The baseball team played Saturday, but the weather was a huge factor. The game started on Friday, but was postponed until Saturday afternoon. The team took on Miami, Ohio, but the game did not end well. The conditions outside were less than ideal, as was the Huskies' play. The Huskies were only able to put up one hit against the Redhawks, and they fall 7-0.
Moving over to Sunday now, NIU wrapped up their series against Miami with a doubleheader. Like the weather, the Huskies hoped to bounce back after a cold start to the series. The weather played its part, climbing to over 70 degrees, but in the first game, the Huskies were unable to get anything going against the Redhawks, losing 2-0. The Bats came alive in the second game of the doubleheader, though, as the Huskies were able to put up 5 runs in the 6th. That proved to be more than enough as starting pitcher Donovan Sims pitched his best game of the year. Sims hurled a complete game, and the Huskies won 6-1. Their record is now 7-20.
Moving over to the softball diamond now, the Huskies split a doubleheader with Kent State on Friday. We move now to the Sunday's rubber match. Perfect softball weather out there, as Kent State jumped out to an early 3-1 lead heading into the 5th inning. Bottom of the 5th inning, though, the Huskies put on their rally caps. Jenny Van Gentry smashes this 2-run home run to tie the game at 3. And look at the rally caps there to celebrate the home run. Unfortunately, in the top of the 7th, Kent State's Michelle Duffy smashes the home run to take the lead. The Huskies would attempt to rally with the bases packed, but with 2 outs, Kaylee Kosikowski hits a short fly ball to shallow right field, and it doesn't drop, and this game is over. Kent State takes the game and the series. NIU's record falls to 23-10.
Out at our sports hub, Walter Douglas has the baseball and softball schedules.
He's going to tell us the next chance that we have to see the baseball and softball teams.
Thanks, Mike. This baseball team will be looking to recover from a slow start this season. As you can see, they're not off to the best start. They lost the last 2 of 3 at Miami of Ohio, and the next 3 games will be this Wednesday against Minnesota. And they also have a weekend home series against Central Michigan. The Lady Huskies were actually doing really well so far into the season. They'll be taking the Diamond at home tomorrow for a doubleheader against Ball State. Softball and baseball season is in full swing. Get out there and support your Huskies. Mike and Ryan will be back with more Top Shelf Sports. March Madness is coming to a close. The championship game is tonight. We'll talk about that more when we come back.
Baseball is back. After the Cubs' playoff run last year, many are picking the Northsiders to win it all this season. In fact, ESPN released their baseball experts' predictions over the weekend, and over half of the experts are predicting the Cubs will make it to the World Series. The Cubs and Sox each open up their 2016 seasons tonight. The Cubs are playing the Angels in Anaheim, while the Sox visit the Oakland Athletics.
Also on tap tonight, the end of the madness. The NCAA Men's Championship game between North Carolina Tar Heels and the Villanova Wildcats will tip off just after 8 tonight. Now, Villanova took on Oklahoma on Saturday, and wow, that game was a total annihilation. Nova destroyed the Sooners 95-51. It was the largest margin of victory in the history of the Final Four. The Wildcats shot over 70% from the field.
Now here's a look at the other Final Four game between the Tar Heels and the Syracuse Orange. North Carolina pushed ahead early on and never looked back. They were up by 8 at the half, but they had a tough time from the top of the arc. They shot just 4 from 17 from long range. Not very good, but they still came out on top. Roy Williams' Tar Heels beat the Orange 83-66.
I'm really excited to see who takes home the title tonight, Ryan.
Well, I already sort of lost my bracket, so I still care, but it doesn't matter to me who wins, actually. But the games are always fun to watch, and I'll definitely still be there. Well, that's all for Top Shelf Sports today.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Enjoy the games tonight.
We'll see you next time.
That is